Again, we've talked about this theme of the talent coming through in Nigerian sprinting, and Akintola, the 20-year-old, goes in 6th, and Dan Kibiasi of Kenya on the inside has also been running pretty well. Taib of Malaysia on the outside. He's based in Australia. Brock Mabupe of the Solomon Islands goes in lane 7. The wind seems to have picked up and the sun disappearing. It's not quite chilly, but it's not quite as warm as it's been in previous days. So here is Alaba Akintola, the 20-year-old, the Nigerian champion. Ran 20.26 back in May. But again, someone who studies in the United States at Tennessee, and they can be long, long seasons. You've got to keep that form going through to August. Doesn't sound late, but sometimes it's difficult to keep that form going. The Sean Crowley you saw in lane 5, and Denzel Adem of the Seychelles in lane 4. Sean Crowley of St. Helena, I should have said, in lane 5. And Jeremy Dodson of Samoa, well, a New York born and raised, but runs for Samoa. It's his 2nd Commonwealth Games at the age of 34. And there is Dan Kibiasi Asamba. Has run 20.73. You can see there a new personal best this season. That was done at altitude, though, so he's just take the edge off that, but should be challenging for one of the top 2 places here. Again, throughout these heats here, you see these are the times as well that will get you as one of the 8 fastest non-automatic qualifiers, and 21.32, good enough for that at the moment. With 2 heats remaining here. So you've got Kibiasi Asamba on the inside, and Akintola in lane 6, the 20-year-old Nigerian. Really one to look out for here. Set. Cleanly away, a very good start for Akintola. He's already just easing his way around this bend. He's a short and muscular figure. A good run from Asamba on the inside of Kenya, though. And Akintola just having to work hard here. He's coming under pressure from Taib. And Taib coming through to take that 2nd automatic qualifying place for Malaysia. That was a surprise. 20.76 the winning time for Asamba. That's not far from his PB, which mentioned was at altitude. So that's a good run, and a very, very good run for Alex Nasir Taib of Malaysia on the outside. Disappointing for Akintola, although again we had highlighted, you know, you see these times that are run by US college students, as the Nigerian is, and then sometimes you come to the major championships later in the year and it's not quite there.
Yeah, and he's reaching for it, isn't he? You can see there his race is spent at this point, you know, and he's trying to hang on to it. It really wasn't the finish that he would have wanted, by contrast to Kibiasi, who looks nice and smooth and relaxed, and bouncing off the track. Well done by Nasir Taib, right on the outside. Malaysian with a big performance there. Just wait and see the results, whether he wouldn't have been too far off. Certainly a season's best, not too far away anyway.
Yeah, just outside it, but a very, very good run indeed. And he was finishing strongly, Akintola going backwards. So Nigeria have been well, a couple of disappointments so far from the Nigerian men in the 200 meters. Well, an injury as well. That was disappointment, though. So Asamba and Nasir Taib going through automatically, 21.28. I'm just trying to see, I think that will just about be quick enough. We'll confirm that in 1 heat time.
As we move to what is now the final heat in the men's 200 meters. Good to see Brendan Rodney here. So many of the Canadian sprinters decided not to come, including Andre de Grasse, Aaron Brown, Jerome Blake. They could have had all sorts of people here, but he will be a contender perhaps for them. Simon Rijo of Anguilla. We've got Sanjay Weeks, Montserrat. Let's just go through them from the outside. And Kamau is at Papua New Guinea. Then we've got a hold of Guyana. Then in this lane here, Adama Jame from Gambia. Dylan Edwin of St. Lucia. St. Lucia already won a medal. Julian Alfred in the 100 meters for women. She didn't come out in the 200 sadly this morning, but he will be hoping that he can make it through to the semi-finals. Sanjay Weeks of Montserrat. Only 17, 23.19 personal best set this year. He may well improve that here. Let's hope he can. Simon of Anguilla competed at the Commonwealth Games himself as just a 17-year-old 4 years ago on the Gold Coast. And the aforementioned Brendan Rodney was in their gold medal winning relay team, surprised the USA and everybody else. De Grasse on the last leg for them at the World Championships in Eugene. So he is in lane 2.
On your marks.
And again, just to remind you, top 2 to go through. The qualifying times you just saw there, 21.30, still good enough to get you in. It only had 5 names on there because 3 have already qualified. It don't have any more athletes left after this. So theoretically, in theory, all 5 of these could go. Sorry, excuse me, all 7 could go through if they were all quick enough.
Set.
Rodney a little slow out of the blocks right on the inside. Edwin has started quickly for St. Lucia right in the middle as well. And Kamau of Papua New Guinea's got a good start. But Rodney now running a very good bend indeed. And Edwin and the 2 of these just pulling well away from everybody else. Brendan Rodney of Canada looking good. Pretty swift run from him. 20.84. Edwin clear in second. Kamau may have just tipped the rest for a 3rd spot, but a long way behind the top 2. Well, no issues for Brendan Rodney. As we were saying, Andrea, it'll be the semi-finals where we start to really map out who could be a real contender.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of heats in the first round, a lot of thinning out of it. You know, some pretty thin heats already, but there have been some high-quality runners, and once you get into the semi-finals, it gets very, very serious indeed. And expected contenders have been going through, and Rodney was favoured there, and in pretty tight lane for him as well on the inside, but managed it well, and didn't have a helping wind down the home straight either that some of the others had had. So a decent enough opener for the Canadian.
So that the final heat with the winning time 20.84, 21.19, and sadly, although I said all of them could have made it through, none of them did. Sadly, so 21.67 for Kamau will not be quick enough. We may have all of the qualifiers for you here. 24 athletes will advance to the 3 semi-finals, headed up by a very swift run from Zarnell Hughes. Semi looked good as well, didn't he? Jareem Richards, the defending champion. All men who will be thinking they've got an opportunity. Just seen Brendan Rodney going through. Jamili, well, depending on the semi-final draw, and he'll be hoping he can at least make it to the final, but he will have to run a fair bit quicker than that which was necessary in this first round. And there we see most of the athletes who qualified by time.